Welcome everyone and welcome to our special guest, Nick. He's an actor. We met during some COVID Zoom. Let's try to have fun during this time. And so I'm so excited to get to talk to him today. And so I'm going to kick it off with some questions and then open it to the room for other questions. Nick, can you tell us a little bit about your disability?
Well, so I'm autistic and I also have ADHD and uh um uh yeah, that's
That's
about
about
it.
it. Okay. I mean, those are we're familiar with both those. I think they've both been on here. So yeah.
Hmm.
How did you start out in acting?
Well, I mean, it's something I somewhat had interest in like as like a kid because I watched a variety of like movie musicals and I and like I grew up with like, I Dick Van Dyke, he's like one of my biggest inspirations. And then and then I then my mom put me and my sister, we put us both into the acting classes at this local theater that does these classes and I was like 11 when I started taking those classes, and then from there on I just got the theater bug.
You got bitten and you started.
Yeah.
What would you describe as your dream job? Like, where do you hope this takes you? Like, if you could have any job in the world, what would it be?
Definitely like professional acting. It's I I wasn't sure if it was something I wanted to do. I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be what I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it. And then I think it was my sophomore year of high school. I was like I just I this is my sophomore year of high school. I was like I need to do this for the rest of my life.
I felt that way in middle school, and we
Hmm.
had to write like daily journals, and I think I just wrote about that every day. And it was probably even more annoying because in my middle school they only did one play a year, and it was directed by that English teacher, so it was probably even more annoying for her to read that, knowing that I was going to be like in that play. And um, do you have a rehearsal bag or a performance bag that you take with you when you're doing a show? Like when you did prom, did you have a bag that you took with you? And what 5 things do you keep in there?
Usually what I keep in there is like usually my script. I keep my wallet in there. I keep like I keep my water. You know, usually you like very the essentials
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. Hand sanitizer,
Yeah.
phone chargers. Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
really interesting to see the difference on this podcast between like guys and girls. Although I did record myself like putting my bag together because I'm gonna post it. And I was like, maybe I don't have as much as I think I do, but I often feel like I'm always taking a lot with me in class. So, what advice would you give someone who wants to get into doing theater or acting or film?
I'd say just uh follow your heart. I mean, don't if it's something you really, really want to do, go ahead and do it. You may not always be successful, but you are putting effort and and just putting in effort is good.
That is great advice. What is your favorite part you've ever played?
Wow. That's a hard one because I've played so many I've played so many good parts over the years. I mean, oh man, I
What are some
gotta
of your
say
favorite then?
my favorite one. I probably have to say Boy slash Peter in the Starcatcher. I don't know if you are familiar with that show.
Yeah, a little bit. That's a great role.
Hmm.
And my last question for you before I open the room up, and I'm sure I'll come up with others, but what is the one thing you wouldn't change about yourself?
Um, um, hmm. I'd I don't know, probably just I don't know exactly what I would change. I maybe my hmm that is so hard.
Do you think like there are advantages to you like acting like with your disability? Like I know there are people with autism that can memorize lines better. Like does it
Yeah.
help you like or with your ADHD, does it make you like have more energy and work harder on stage, like things like that?
I I think honestly, I mean, I'm not like I think memorizing lines is very hard because like I know that there's so many people who literally can like you're given a script and you can memorize it in like 3 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. I've
But
worked
with
with a couple people like that. And you're just like, oh, like, how'd you do it? Yeah.
yeah, so probably just I don't Oh wait, this is what I wouldn't change.
Yeah, what is the one like what's something you love about yourself that
Um,
you think makes you great?
I just my personality.
We've met a lot of great personalities on a acting on an
Hmm.
acting themed podcast. So I mean, I think that's great. Um, Allison, do you have any questions for Nick before I ask him some more?
What was your first acting experience?
What was your first acting experience?
Okay, my first acting experience was in was in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Like that was my very first like show I ever did. I wasn't much in it. I was like a kid in like I was like a kid in a dream choir or whatever. But that experience was so cool because like I never did a show before and I saw like people I saw and the surprising this that's the oh wait I mean I'm trying to
It's okay.
trying to oh okay all right so it was like my first it was my first real like acting experience and and it was I felt like a kid in the candy store watching just being like, oh my God, I am performing in front of a bunch of people.
And having the best time of my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever tried to deter you from wanting to be an actor because of your disabilities?
No, I don't no, and I don't think anyone has.
And when you've like gone to a different theater or a different place, everyone's been really welcoming to you and all of that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's great. How do you muster to keep going on when you have a bad day?
Um, I I don't usually just being just like 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 at rehearsals or in life, like
Both. Because
both.
yeah, yeah. Like when you got injured on opening night of prom, which you did recently, like
Yes.
what did it like when you realized like, oh, I'm gonna have to be on crutches now and stuff, like did that bring you down? Were you like kind of sad about it at first?
I I was upset. I was very sad, but the thing, but what made me like what made that what the good thing was is everybody was great to me, and they were just proud that like they were so proud of me that I still did the show even with a dislocated knee.
That's awesome. Yeah. Who's been the biggest encouragement to you to follow your dreams?
Oh, probably, I mean, hmm, but probably my family, my all my family.
That's great. What is the best experience you've had while either doing like a show or in sort of theater class?
Best experience. There's so many great experiences. Probably one of my best experiences was doing a couple of years ago. It was like 2019. I did a production of American Idiot, and and that was probably one of the best experiences ever, just because it was I've never done a show like that before. It was also my first community theater show in a long time, and everyone was so much fun. We it was just crazy. It was a crazy fun environment. It was just it was just amazing. It was chaotic but amazing.
You sound like you do some good shows that you're where you're at, and
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's really awesome. How do you feel about disability representation in Hollywood?
I feel like it's not I think now it's getting much better, but in the past it's not. It's very it's just been very inaccurate. It's and like surprising, and like some of those movies I still kind of enjoy. Like I mean,
Like Forrest
I
Gump?
Forrest Gump, yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still love that movie,
Me too. Yeah.
and there's some like there's some performances like I mean like what is the like um uh what's his um there's just some performances in the past that like I just are just very inaccurate, and I think what's going on now, like the show Heartbreak High, like they have like an actual autistic, person playing an autistic character,
That's
and
awesome.
then there's a show called As We See It, which was
I don't
which
think I've heard of that one.
I I I know it was I yeah, it was like an Amazon show.
Okay.
And then there's like and then there's a and then I think now there's influencer guy named Mickey Rowe. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
Yes, Mickey Rowe. He's been he played he's like the first autistic person to play Christopher Boone in Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, and I actually auditioned for a production of it in the spring uh this past year, and um you know I found out about his story, and his story just very is very inspiring to me, and I just you know
like I've had friends that like are like go watch Atypical and I'm like I can't like they
Mm,
made a choice and they're like well they casted autistic people later and I'm like it doesn't make up for it for me.
yeah.
But one of my I don't one of my favorite autistic performances on a show is there's a show on Apple TV called Little Voice, and she has a brother with autism who's like obsessed with Broadway, and all the actors actually have autism, and
Mm,
that's one of my favorites. If you get a chance, check that one out.
mm,
But yeah, I like how it's starting to shift, but it's not quite perfect yet.
mm.
Which can be frustrating if you say someone making changes and then other people aren't. I
Yeah.
all right. If you could change one thing about how Hollywood represents disabilities, what would it be?
Either cast someone who has disability. If not, cast well, I'm have people who have disabilities behind the work behind the scenes and consult. So
Writers, yeah,
it's
writers.
not a very so the performance is like not offensive or anything like that because see ya music Maddie Ziegler.
My we've talked about how there needs to be someone on a set and they're just called the really dude job and they're just there to be like really dude like maybe you shouldn't do that that's not a good idea like
Yeah.
so you just need a really dude guy on set definitely so
Hmm.
uh who are some of your favorite actors besides Dick Van Dyke?
Michael J. Fox, Michael J. Fox, Johnny Depp, there's Tom Hanks was, and then like years later, like Joe Pesci. He's, you know, and then there's De Niro, there's Marlon Brando, Reese Witherspoon. Oh man, so many people I can go on and on, but
That's awesome. What are some of your favorite plays?
like musical or just plays.
Any either way we can do both categories.
So my favorite musical is Rent, and then my favorite play is Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime.
Who would you want to play in Rent if you were in it?
Well, I was in Rent actually.
Okay. Who did you play in Rent and was it your favorite?
I was like a featured I was a featured ensemble member. I had played like a few characters, like a homeless guy, a character of one of the dads, the father-in-law of one of the dads, basically.
But like, would you want to be a main role or did you really enjoy just being a part of the
I
end?
just love being in just the fact I just really want to just be in the show. I didn't
Yeah.
really care what part I had. I just got to live my dream and do Rent. So,
Yeah. I was supposed to do it last August, like go audition for it, and I was just gonna do ensemble because I like couldn't really and I like texted my friend who's like big into musicals and he's like Rent has one of the best ensemble like parts that you'd want to be in. And unfortunately, like I didn't make it to the callbacks because I was traveling. Like I was like, oh, I'll make it to the audition, and then I forgot about callbacks in that moment. But someday maybe I'll be in the Rent ensemble.
hmm,
That'd be really fun. Yeah. What is your dream role or character type?
dream role. Probably Christopher Boone in Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime.
Do you think that would be like a movie that they'll make eventually? Would you be interested in like that?
I I would do it, but I'm not that young, and they probably cast like an actual like probably teenager. I don't know. I
They
if
could
there was an
what is his name? They
hmm.
could is it Ben Platt? They could Ben Platt you like a wig. Yeah.
I mean, I'm younger than Ben Platt, so maybe.
I mean, that's sort of what I love about theater is they can just put some sort of makeup on you or whatever, and then you're what
Yeah.
age or um this kid that I know, like I'm friends with his family, and he got recently bitten by the acting bug, and his favorite character is Jack from Into the Woods. And he loves the movie version, but they bought him the stage version, and he doesn't like that version because it's not played by a kid. So
Mhm.
like but I love that about theater because I could play Little Red Riding Hood still. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun, I think anyways. But yeah, it's too funny. If you could win an award, which would it be? An Oscar, an Emmy, or a Tony?
Probably an Oscar.
I mean, I don't know why EGOT's not on here, Allison, who made up these questions. Just saying. No, I can't. I'm kidding. And I think that's all my questions. Allison, do you have any questions? Oh, she might have left. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Maybe. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about or tell the world about while you're here?
Um, mm, I don't know, hmm, just, just, um, just live life and appreciate everything about it.
That is solid advice. That is solid advice. You're going to school currently? Are
I
you
am.
you're going are you a theater major?
Not exactly, but theater's part of my major.
And so what is your major called?
It's entertainment technology.
Entertainment technology. And what does that entail? I've never heard of
It's
that.
it's very much it's like every aspect of the entertainment industry, the acting, the behind the scenes work, and like every aspect of it.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool. What's been your favorite class to take so far?
Favorite class, I probably just my theater class.
If you were going to be in the remake of a movie, what movie would you want to remake and who would you play?
Remake of a movie. Hmm. Remake. I would love to be in a remake of An American Werewolf in London. And I'd love to play the character David, who's becomes a werewolf.
Yeah, yeah. That's fun. I'm trying to remember if I've seen that one or not.
Hmm.
So interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I just heard that they're looking at doing a remake of The Office. And that seems like crazy to me because it's like,
Hmm.
didn't we do that already?
I've never seen The Office. I've
Never. You should go watch it.
I've heard so many good things about it, but I don't know, just the whole thing. I don't know. I think I've tried to sit through some episodes and it just doesn't do it for me.
It's kind of nice with so much like streaming and things to watch when you find something that just doesn't
Hmm.
click for you. You're like, oh good, I can skip this one. Well, if that is everything, I can let you go unless you want to just stay and chat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Um, yeah, no, that's about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this, Nick. And
You're
if
welcome.
anyone has any other questions for you or just wants to stay in touch, where is the best place to do so?
Find me on social media, nickman131.
That's pretty easy, and I'll make sure to put it down below at the YouTube link.
All right,
Thank you so much.
welcome.
Don't know where the recording video went. Where'd the recording button go? Oh, here. Oh, they moved it.